Hi, I'm Karen King, the CEO of Productions Without Borders, and welcome to video number 2. If you haven't had a chance to watch video number 1 yet, please do so before you carry on watching this one. I want to make sure you get all the information you need. I'm going to share a story with you that is probably one that people haven't heard before because it's not one of my finest moments. When I made my very first feature film, I was the first Black woman in Canada to make a movie. And in fact, our entire team was the first time that we had a writer, producer, director team make a movie in Canada. That movie took us to the Cannes Film Festival and really launched our careers. But what happened on that movie is something that not a lot of people are aware of. I had just finished working on Tim Reed's Race to Freedom. It was an MOW, and he'd come to Toronto to shoot it. He came into the production office and looked around, and aside from the receptionist, there were no Black people in the production office. And he asked them, "Where are the Black folks?" They said, "What Black folks?" He said, "People, we got to get some Black folks in here. I want Black people in every department." I learned in that moment that one person really can make a difference to make things change. And they hired me. Actually, they'd hired a friend of mine, and she got me hired when she went to do a full-time job. And I helped the production manager find non-union crew and get them into the union and get them on the show. That show hadn't been without some challenges, but I was now doing my own movie. So I was getting an opportunity to do it right this time. And it was going to be better than ever. I'd been the vice president of the Black Film and Video Network, and I'd been knocking on all the doors of the funders and all the film schools and saying, it's important to be inclusive and we need to have a seat at the table. And now I was going to have a chance to show them all how it could be done. Now, I was working with a first-time filmmaker, so I wanted to make sure he had some very solid people around him, and we hired some very experienced cinematographer and art director. And then I hired the production manager, and we were so relieved because we found a Black production manager. So we thought, when we said to her, we were so happy to have found you because we really want to hire Black crew. It's really important to us that we have people who are really invested in the content, involved in creating the story. And so, off we went, and off she went and did her job. And when we came to the production meeting, we all sat down at the table, and I looked up, and there were no Black people in the room except for me, the director, the producer, and that production manager. And my heart broke. It was really probably one of the most disappointing moments in my career. And I learned another important lesson in that moment. I learned that just hiring a person of color doesn't mean you're going to get what you think you're going to get from them. We're not all the same. And somebody who, even though their job is hiring people, they may not have a commitment to diversity and inclusion the same way that you do. So it takes more than just hiring somebody who looks like what you think might be somebody who's committed. So what that did for me was really reinforce my commitment and really make it something that I knew I had to conquer this thing. I had to figure out how to get this done. And fortunately, the next job I got was at the National Film Board of Canada on the Special Mandate Team for Cultural Diversity. So this was now my full-time career. There was a lot of resistance to that. The time that we came into the film board was a time when the organization had been, lost a lot of its budget and lost a lot of its staff. And so there was still a lot of hurt and pain around that. And I walked in already in gung-ho to kind of do diversity. And there was a lot of, where's the money for that going to come from? Why should we do this? There was a lot of resistance along the way. And what I started to recognize was that there are always going to be people who don't understand that times are changing. And if you're going to be one of those people who don't realize that the world has changed and the millennials that are here today get the diversity piece, they understand what it is to be inclusive, and you don't, and you're still creating content for last century's audience using the same methods that you used last century, you're going to be left out in the cold. This is an opportunity for you to become relevant, to understand that there is a benefit to working with people who are from different backgrounds because they know what you don't know. They can fill your blind spots. You know, if you think about all that you know in the world about culture and language and community and politics in communities and religion in communities and just all of the complexity that is the diverse world that is our mainstream today, and how much of it do you know of all of the knowledge that exists in the world? Probably a very small fraction. And in production, there's no time to research everything. But if you actually take the time to hire the right people in the right way, then you will have an unlimited resource all around you who can be available when you need them to verify or clarify or, say that's not the right thing to do and stop you from making fatal mistakes. Today's audience is more complex than ever, and we have to get up to speed very quickly. And the best way to engage an audience is to hire them. So I want you to do that. I want you to start looking at diverse talent as not something that you do for a day and you have them in and pay them $300 and then you set them all home and you go off for the next 7 years and make a ton of money from the show. Hire them so they can be part of the success of your show ongoingly and making sure that every script revision is being dealt with accordingly and you're not leaving anything unaddressed. So I hope that helps you get a sense of what's possible and what you can be doing. It's just the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more that you can be doing. And join us for the next video. And if you didn't already register for the videos, leave us your email address and we'll make sure that you get the next one as well. Okay? And I know you're going to love that one, so make sure you don't miss out on it. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.